Once I looked into the details, I was profoundly disappointed. The marketing is literally claiming everything you need to make music. Even with the appalling value for your monthly spend so far, things are even worse. I would definitely avoid this subscription whether I was a brand new producer or not. Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm taking a look at the Beatport Studio offering from Plugin Boutique. So for reasons that will become apparent later in the video, I didn't actually sign up and try this. So this review is based on details from the Plugin Boutique website. So when I first heard that Plugin Boutique was offering a subscription, I was really excited. Plugin Boutique have an immense catalogue of plugins. They had the potential to make a best-in-class offering. I also noticed that there aren't any or many YouTubers talking about this, and given that, and that they're particularly marketing this towards new producers, I thought someone without an agenda needs to cover it. And so here we are. As you probably guessed, once I looked into the details, I was profoundly disappointed. So there are three components to this offering. So you've got plugins, which include both virtual instrument and effect plugins. You've got a bundled DAW, and you've got an included sound service for loops and one-shots, similar to Splice or whatever. The pricing for this is either $12 per month if you pay it by the month, or $120 for the year. And the marketing is literally claiming everything you need to make music. So on the surface, that doesn't sound too bad, right? Around $12 a month for everything you'll need from one of the biggest plugin resellers around, if not the biggest. Well, as they say, the devil's in the details. And the smell coming from this bouquet is definitely not that of roses, to mix metaphors. Normally I would be talking through positives and negatives, but this one's so bad I've got a number of deal breakers. Deal breaker number one, a 10 plugin limit. What does that mean? What's a 10 plugin limit? Each calendar month you have a maximum of 10 plugin slots that you can use on your subscription. In other words, per month you can only use up to 10 different plugins. And bear in mind that 10 plugins has to be spread across effects and virtual instruments. Even the most minimalist would struggle to stick to 10 plugins, especially as all we could need. In effect, ignoring the DAW and the sounds, you're paying about $1 a month per plugin to rent access to it. Deal breaker 2, the range of plugins that are available on the plan is garbage. There is a grand total of 26 instruments, 47 effects, and 6 utilities. Compared to Plugin Boutique's full range, which is a lot higher, that is absolutely pathetic. Even worse, the available options of those are very much the bottom tier. And then, from that pile of not very attractive plugins, you have to choose 10 to cover all your needs. Deal breaker number 3, the bundled DAWs. You have 2 bundled DAWs, and they're both extremely limited. Bundled DAW number 1, Beatport Studio 8-track. As the name suggests, this has a limit of 8 tracks. This makes this unusable as a primary DAW for even brand new producers. And there's also a 2 VST limit. So as a scratch pad, maybe. Anything more than that? No, not happening. So the second DAW option is Cubase LE16, which is slightly less limited than Beatport Studio 8-track, but still very limited. So now you have a slightly improved 16 audio track limit, but an 8 virtual instrument limit. Deal breaker number 4, no rent to own component. So even with the appalling value for your monthly spend so far, things are even worse. So the most successful competing subscriptions give something back to the customer in terms of free plugin or store credit when on the subscription for a given amount of time. But not the case for Beatport Studio, sorry folks. Now, at this point you might be thinking there's nothing good about the subscription, and you'd be pretty close to right. There is, however, one good thing, and one thing that, well, I wouldn't be going as far as saying it's good, it's not as bad as it could be. So the one good thing about this is the sound service. In this case, it's provided by LoopCloud. So you get monthly credit, allowing you to download and use 100 sounds per month, which is fairly standard across competing plans from services such as Splice. Of course, if you particularly wanted this sound service, you could get it directly from LoopCloud for $8 a month and forgo the DAW and plugins. The other not completely terrible thing about this is the plugin freezing technology. What this means in practice is that in projects using plugins you have selected in previous months, or if you've cancelled your subscription, those plugins will still be able to operate. You won't be able to change the settings and they'll be locked down, but you can still bounce or whatever you want to do. Let's imagine I subscribe to this service and was trying to select 10 plugins to cover everything I need. This is the list that I've come up with. EQ, Acon Digital Equalize, Compressor, Venomode Complexer 2, Limiter, Venomode Maximal 3, Saturation, Plugin Boutique Drive Mod, Reverb, United Plugins Morph Verb, Utility, PB Scaler 2, Wavetable Synth, Plugin Boutique Wave OSC, Analog Style Synth, Blias Alpha, Mix Checking Utility, Audified Mix Checker, and for a channel strip / multi-effect, Excite Audio, Lifeline Console. Given that list is the best that I could put together, it's honestly pretty underwhelming. In fact, the only must-have for me on that list is Scaler 2. Most of the other items are outperformed by either the better free plugins, let alone alternative paid plugins that aren't available on the subscription as choices. If I were forced to use only these plugins to make all my music, I would definitely be yeeting myself either out of making music or more likely off the planet entirely. I would definitely avoid this subscription whether I was a brand new producer or not. If anyone from Plugin Boutique is watching this, I'd urge you to do two things. Firstly, drop the brain dead 10 plugin per month limit. It's a terrible idea and I would be surprised if anyone had signed up for this. Number 2, expand the range of plugins in subscription. That's more important to people than being able to use plugins read-only out of sub. So if that feature has to go to get a better caliber of plugins on board, so be it. But as I said, drop the 10 plugin limit, it's stupid. So there are a couple of alternative subscriptions at a similar price point that are much better, and I've been on both of these in the past. Plugin Alliance offers the bottom tier Mega L plugin subscription for $15 a month paid monthly. Sometimes it's on a promotion down to $10 a month if you're lucky. It has a much bigger range of plugins, both numerically and in terms of the types of plugins that it covers. And on this plan level, each year that you subscribe, you get to choose 3 plugins to keep forever. Kilohertz also offers a subscription for $10 a month. So there are less plugins in their range. On the other hand, they cover everything that you need much better than Beatport does, in my opinion. The relatively simple plugins and interfaces from Kilohertz would be perfect for a new producer to learn with. And although they don't have many virtual instruments in there, on the other hand, the content banks for the ones that they do have in there are top-notch. In terms of DAWs, it's hard to go past Reaper for $60, but apparently some people find Reaper doesn't really suit them and their workflow. I know. Most of the other main DAWs out there have a base version for around $100, which is going to be much less limited than both of the 2 Beatport subscription DAW options. Thank you for watching. I hope I've both put you off considering this subscription and inspired Plugin Boutique to make some urgent changes about how it works. If you value independent reviews of audio software and plugins like this one, please subscribe to my channel. I have plenty more coming up. What are your top 10 could not live without plugins? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.